So welcome to episode 4. Today we're going to, I should introduce myself. Welcome to episode 4. I'm Craig from RDH Garage.
I'm Ant.
Welcome to episode 4, where we are building a racing sidecar unit, and I am Craig from RDH Garage.
I'm Drew from Hellbenders Racing Team.
So today I believe we're going to convert an oil canister system to a later version to introduce an oil cooling unit.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah. This is something that I searched the web high and low for information on, and there just isn't a lot because they don't do it that often. I guess from what I read, they did it for the old sidecars, but that's it. So.
And this oil cooler unit should obviously keep the engine cooler especially when you're putting a lot of load on it, racing and pulling the sidecars. I guess one thing Brooke did you want to torque these to see, make sure that the threads are good first? We're going to torque down the oil pan bolts just to make sure that the threads aren't stripped before we take it all apart and discover later that we need to helicoil something. So we'll just torque them down to the highest rating according to Snowbomb is 72 inch-pounds. Good. That's Brooke does it. Good, good, good. Did you watch how he checked the flatness of the oil pan?
I did, and I probably would do that for the front cover because that thing's a little whacked. But I don't have a plate of glass. What he's talking about is in Brooks' video, to make sure this was flat, he put it on a plate of glass and then ran feeler gauges around it, and then when he found out it wasn't flat, he put it on a piece of sandpaper and just slowly sanded it until it's flat, because when you lay out glass, it automatically levels. If you haven't noticed, we're kind of Brooks Garage fanboys. I couldn't imagine being quite as detailed as he is, but you gotta respect it. That's just the oil dipstick coming.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's glued on and like that song going.
It's probably been on since original, 1976. Hey!
Ooh,
That's a while.
look at that.
Milkshake.
Yeah. I'm just getting the clip off the pickup that pulls the oil from the bottom of the pan.
So that's what sucks the oil up into the engine from the pan.
Just getting it off. There we go. This fits in a little hole in the back. Just down. You make sure the beveled side is down on the screen, out or down.
It looks like it's also caved out a little bit.
Yeah, out. Convex to the outside.
Yeah, concave in convex. I had to think about that.
Oh, you're putting a separate piece in here.
It may be. There was an extension for a while for a deeper oil pan.
There we go. That's
So that's a little extension. I was reading that this goes on here because these /6 oil pans are a little deeper. It's always fun to go from reading to actually seeing, and you're like, is that what they were talking about? It's a kind of a weird material.
like a bakelite or something.
It feels like it, yeah.
Okay, I guess we don't need to be filming the think time.
So here's the original tube, which is shorter. And we're going to put a longer tube in. Outer tube.
And inner tube.
And inner tube. Trying to get this canister out. Press fit. I'm heating the bottom, the casting.
That's doing it.
Assume
What if we drill a hole and cut down through there?
So Anton has instructions on how to do this? Or
No.
just-
That's why I called him. On the web it said something about putting a longer steering tube in.
Okay.
And I called him like,
Page.
what do you mean?
Okay.
And he said, well, you got to take this old tube out and then put the other one in to a depth of 3.5 millimeters. I'm like, well, how do you get it out? All right, plan one failed. Let's move the plan. Well, let's make a new plan. We got to reenact the moment.
Yeah, let's try to tap this thing. Yeah. Oh, look at that. I think it's moving.
You're a terrible actor. So it's moving, but it's not coming out. I wonder if this is where drilling some screws might actually come in handy.
Alright. Then you can just kind of pound up on the screw or something.
Yeah. You want to try it?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking of actually drilling it first.
Oh, I should have thought of that. Really? Brilliant. We could just skip ahead to the exciting bit. Let's try just the one, because that made a hell of a mess. Good. Tap, tap, tap it. Towards you, and then you could tap it towards me, and we could try to work it. You tap up, and I'll tap it back, and then you tap it up, and then I'll tap it back, and see if we can get it to a point where it loosens.
Oh, I moved.
Yep.
Okay.
It's moving side to side. But are we getting it up is the real question. You scoundrel. It seems like we're just moving it this way and that.
Got it. I got it. It came out.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Ta-da!
Yay! I always kind of thought it was going to be a little bit of a challenge. But hey.
Work together. Two heads.
Oh, look at that. There's a hole in the middle of that. I wonder if that means we can put a punch in there and turn it.
Oh.
See if that will do her.
Yeah. It won't go in.
Too big. Oh.
Let's see. No,
Oh, are you?
did have it on, but yeah. Okay, it's coming out. Here she be.
I would say this is a good time for a turkey roll-up.
All right.
Turkey wrap. Vegetarian turkey wrap, mind you. Okay, so what this job's been all about is to get an external oil cooler on this engine because the oil heats up fast. These things are called airheads because air cooled the engine. So the original one's a bit shorter. This one will go all the way to the top, and then you put on one of these special plates and the oil comes out here and goes out to the cooler that way. So we needed to put a taller one to push it all the way out to that plate up here.
And I'm heating up the recess area. We're hoping it's just going to go in, and then we'll measure it to the proper spec to make sure that the O-ring has the right pressure on it.
Because if you get it in too far, it sucks the O-ring in, according to all airhead lure.
Yeah, that's the post-80s era. Okay, let's go for it.
See, that's that chamfered head. That's what they originally did in the factory, is they just kind of press fit those guys in there.
See what it is.
That went a little better than I kind of expected it to.
Set at 3.5, see where it is. So we measured the depth to the canister tube, and it's inspect. So we're going to put the center tube in. Drew doesn't have a big screwdriver, so we're using this square. And it works like a charm. That's the biggest screwdriver we have. That works pretty well.
Yeah.
Good and tight.
Yep. I think we spread the tangs.
Might be right. It's down. I got it down. I just pushed on it. Pretty damn tight.
We just, well, it wasn't before, so
Yeah.
We
guess
got a
you
little
might
something
want to
to
sand it off.
yeah, I don't think I do.
It's on. It's going to be a bitch to get off here whenever you have to do an oil change.
yeah, that can't,
Like
that
that.
can't stand, because you do that literally every race.
What I would do is I'd stick a paper towel inside there and then wrap around with some grease. I just want to stick something inside, like
Yeah.
a pencil or something, just so I can get around the edge without dropping it in the middle. Yeah, that'll work.
Did that show any scoring, like where?
A little bit, yeah.
We could try bending it back in a little bit more. This is the last piece of this puzzle. Craig got the steering tube in, and we got that set to the right depth, and we got the longer tube in, so now the oil will flow up out of that tube and out into the what am I supposed to say? Oil cooler. Thank you. So the next piece is what they call a baffle plate. So this plate's going to go on here, and that's supposed to keep the oil down into the pan so that the pickup that you saw us take off earlier has more oil to work from, and also to keep the oil from getting too foamy.
Lovely.
Yep. Lovely, lovely. Permatex that sucker up.
Assume you just want to think, right?
First race bike I've ever built. I have no clue.
I always know it.
When Doug and I were working on the Ural, I'd be like so careful and trying to do this, you know, gingerly and carefully, and it wouldn't work, and it wouldn't work. And you're like, what are we doing wrong? So we hit it harder,
Yeah.
and then it would work. Mirrors just do not like a gentle touch. Do we want some of the bolts to hang that on while we're fussing and fighting with the
Pickup.
oil pickup? Yes. Next step, that thing. Wasn't spacer, then
Oh, yeah.
gasket.
Yeah, now, since that has a spacer, maybe you need two gaskets.
We did, there wasn't two gaskets on it when we took it off.
Yeah.
Is it? Oh! Good thinking. How'd you caught that?
Yeah, it makes sense if it would be.
Is there an orientation that this has to go? Same one way or the other.
Yeah.
Do you know which side goes up?
BMW seals, they say the letter should go towards the heat.
Now this can only go one way.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay, so final torque. Good. 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 He's got me doing it now too. Ta-da! Job done.
It's always a good feeling that they all tighten up and don't go any further. Cause I've been on my /5, the last one, I was like,
Oh no! Why is it always the last bolt that strips? Why is it always the last
I can
bolt?
just put a little bit more Permatex in there, it'll hold. It didn't hold.
An unusual job we did today.
Yeah, it was. something I'd never done before, so.
And there's not a lot of data on the interwebs about how to change these smaller oil tubes into bigger ones. But it went all right.
Yeah, we got it done.
We got the racing baffle in, all that sludge cleaned off, no bees.
Yeah.
Greg had a bee in his
What's that be? Yeah.
in his /5. I have no idea how that's even possible. But when he went to clean his out, he had a dead bee. So all I had was gross gray sludge. I'll consider myself lucky. So yeah, good day. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Cool.